It's the Colorado Avalanche. Final score of 6-3. Flyers, a relentless effort tonight to just stay in this game and keep pushing. And we'll get to the particulars in just a moment. Since this game is on 93.3 WMMR, we will get to a Foo Fighters tribute coming up because horrible news coming out of the rock world today, as this evening, as a matter of fact, that drummer for the Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, former drummer of Alanis Morissette, has passed away at the age of 50. I believe the band was in Bogota in South America getting ready to perform at a festival today, and the Foo Fighters announced the news via their Twitter handle, and no details, but the tragic passing of Taylor Hawkins, drummer of the Foo Fighters, dead at the age of 50, just turned 50 in February. So rest in peace to Taylor Hawkins. Flyers go down against the Colorado Avalanche. Final score in the game 6-3. And Bry, Carter Hart's got a great record when facing over 42 shots or something like that, but 51. And when you look at the amount of high quality that Colorado had in this game, this one was not going to be one that was sustainable to come away with a victory.
No, absolutely not. And again, in terms of high quality and all that, I mean, we were discussing in the intermissions how many of these shots were screened, were tipped. Again, I don't know that the Flyers scored enough to make it a difference, even if they hadn't had all the deflections that they did. But the bottom line here is that that's one of the reasons that Colorado is so successful, because they've got this uncanny knack at being able to fill the lanes with traffic and then get the puck through one way or the other, whether it's the other team or just a flat out screen or whatever it is. It's really something to watch. And you watch a game like this and you realize why this is such a dangerous team. It's not necessarily just based on brute skill and speed and stuff like that, although they certainly have that. It's being able to get goals in the quote unquote dirty fashion as well, and that's what powered them tonight.
I mean, you look at the game that Nazem Kadri played. He opened the scoring. He had a goal, a couple assists, a fight. He's got the Gordie Howe hat trick. And not only that, but he's credited, I think, with 7 shots on goal in the game. This is a guy who is clearly feeling it this year. And when you're feeling it like that, why not get it to the net as much as you can? Kadri is not sitting back in any way, shape, or form. He ends up with 7 shots on goal, a 3-point game, and he'll take it. And he did all that, mind you, in this game in 14 minutes and 10 seconds of ice time. It's not even like he played 20 minutes.
7 shots on goal, 11 total attempts, 4 that did not.
Yeah.
Flyers blocked 3 of them. Flyers did manage to block 18 shots tonight, but again, it's excuse me, the overall numbers game here that the Avalanche just generate way more shot attempts than their opponents do.
That's speed.
That's exactly it. It's speed and both on the offensive and defensive sides of the puck, just not letting the Flyers have the opportunity to shoot the puck. The Avs in this game end up with 85 shot attempts, it looks like, to just 43 for the Flyers. So they essentially doubled them up just in terms of overall shot attempts, and that's where all those numbers you hear, Corsi, Fenwick, and all that, that's where all that stuff comes from, is the shot attempts. So you can just see where that is going to give you a huge edge night in and night out in terms of being able to win a lot of hockey games. 17 of the 18 skaters on the ice for Colorado had at least 1 shot on goal tonight, and every single one of them had at least 1 shot attempt. So, on the Flyers side, I guess, right now we're looking at, I guess you could call it the future. I mean, if Caden Hodgson keeps this up, I mean, Owen Tippett and Hayden Hodgson were tied for the team lead on the Flyers side with 6 shots apiece. So 31 shots on goal for the Flyers. And those 2 players who weren't even here 5 days ago were responsible for 12 of them.
That's crazy.
it's just kind of it just kind of makes you think. So if he's if we know Tippett is probably going to be a very good player for a long time. If Hodson's going to come in and be a diamond in the rough, I mean, wow, that would be fantastic. Again, we're only 2 games in, can't get too excited yet, but we'll see what happens.
One of the things that the Flyers need to do, there was a lot of faceoffs in this game. Colorado won 42 faceoffs. Flyers won 27. Joel Farabee won only won 4 of 17. JT Confer, by the way, went 8 of 9, won 8, lost 1. But we got to get Bob Clark on the road here to teach Joel Farabee and maybe Morgan Frost and everybody. I mean, everybody was under 50% except for Kevin Hayes. And we know how much Bob Clark helped Claude Giroux in that face-off battle. But we shall see. So,
and at least part of it is just starting to take them now at the NHL level. Joel Farabee had not played center in this league, I don't think, before this week.
No.
And we saw some clips on Twitter this week of the Flyers at practice the day before or the day of the Blues game. He was practicing faceoffs, trying to get in on it. So yeah, I mean, it's just the fact now that, again, we're talking about how the Flyers need to use these last 6 weeks to set a base for next year, and it's just the fact that in some ways, excuse me, it's never good that you're missing a player to injury, but the fact that Sean Couturier is not available is going to force some of these guys to go in there and take face-offs that they would not otherwise take. Claude Giroux, of course, now not being with the team anymore. I mean, these guys now have to go in there and do this job, and to be quite honest, there's nothing to lose at this point. There's nothing really on the line, so they can go in here and start to learn this craft without a ton of pressure on them. And again, we have seen how this develops. We've seen it firsthand here over the last decade. Guys coming into the league as young players, not very good on faceoffs, slowly become the dominant faceoff guys in the league. So hopefully that can happen with this new group here.
Yeah, and it's not one of those things you can cram for the test and pass.
Right.
It's a lot of nuance and a lot of strategic and a lot of, on the job training to become good at that. It's an art, and art is not something crammed for to be a good face-off guy. And you have to have variance in your approach as well, pending who you're going against. So, all right, let's put a wrap on this. Flyers will be back at it coming up on Sunday. They'll continue this road trip. This wraps up the first 3 games, and 3 and 4, and the back-to-back, obviously. But they'll get a little bit of rest here before taking back to the ice in Nashville. A 6 o'clock puck drop down in Nashville versus the Preds. They beat in Claude Giroux's 1,000th game, which was a thriller. And then they'll wrap up the trip against Minnesota before returning home a week from tomorrow against the Leafs.
Can you text me about 4 o'clock and remind me that game's at 6?
Yeah, that's going to be bizarre, right? So you have the Flyers and Nashville coming up on Sunday, and then Minnesota on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and then they'll be back Saturday against Toronto. So let's thank a few people before we get out of here. Let's start with our in-studio engineer, Ryan Shuttlesworth, on highlights, Dan Fritz. For Tim Saunders, Steve Coates, Brian Smith, I'm Jason Martinez. You've been listening to Philadelphia Flyers Hockey on the BetRivers.com Flyers Broadcast Network. Good night, everybody. See you, Ryan. Thanks.
See ya.
All right. That's all we got for tonight, except for I just want to address Justin. Says Flyers need to go get Patrick Laine this offseason and a big-name defenseman. Maybe a defenseman. But Patrick Laine, I'm telling you, Justin, you're not going to like him. He's a guy that he looks good from afar, and he can be really streaky, and he's incredible. But when he's not scoring, he is about as much of a dog as you get.
Like a shiny new AMC gremlin.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Like, I understand he does something and he has a skill set that is so elite, that ability to score. But he is go look at his game logs, Justin. When he doesn't score, and it's often he goes through pronounced periods of time without scoring, he is the most net negative player you will have on that team because he does not have any interest in doing anything else.
Yeah, he has a little bit of Nikolai Zherdev qualities to him, I think.
Yeah, tons of skill, but he's just not interested in doing it. And because when he's not scoring, he's not into the game at all. And like I recognize the release and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, this fan base will go crazy with him because he will drive you freaking bananas. So consider yourself forewarned.
That's right. It's a college basketball tournament that's on. I thought that North Carolina just doused our studio with champagne or something like that, but it's just water.
They beat UCLA, I guess, huh?
Yeah. They're in our room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they're hanging out there. No, and again, we were talking about Kadri tonight. I think this is the only situation where he's any good. I mean, I could be completely wrong about that, but
he's a decent player. But I'm not looking for grab a guy at 32.
You take him out of this environment that he's in right now, I just don't see it. You know?
Yeah, he's not going to produce like this ever again. Yeah. Plus, he's going to get paid.
It's not
pockets weigh you down.
It's not exactly like Ville Laino, but it's Ville Laino-esque.
Yeah,
flash in the pan, and somebody writes a $5 million check and takes it to the bank, right?
Yeah, and look, when you're stuffed with money, you're not as hungry. So
right, yeah. So I don't know. It's that's not the answer to me either. I don't know who else is out there, but the Flyers have I think now put themselves in a position to at least add one big piece. And I really would love it if Tippett and Wade Allison and Farabee and maybe even Bobby Brink start becoming the kind of scoring that was it Justin you said was looking for from Patrick Laine. We may have it in house. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm going to do the podcast. We'll talk to everybody on Sunday. Everybody have a great day. Joey B, good looking out. Good info for tonight. Thank you. Cheers.